Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we will be talking about Love During Lockup, episodes 52 and 53 from season 5.
We're going to go back to back on y'all. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Happy New Year to everybody who is watching this. And hopefully this year, or next year rather, we can actually see some people on the show that has some common sense. Just a little bit.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't get it. Let's go, Blair.
All right. So we start with Hunter, Kate, and Kaylee.
Okay.
Hunter is in a relationship with Kate and Kaylee, or Katie, I'm sorry. Katie was the one who set up the dating site for him to find women to pay for his lifestyle while he was in prison. He didn't think that he would fall for anyone through the website, but Kaylee calls him. She made him pot roast for lunch. She cooks for him because they are in a relationship.
Okay.
He was using her for money at first, then he realized she was pretty cool. They are having phone sex. Kaylee says Hunter is the only successful relationship she's had, and they've been dating for about 5 months now.
Okay.
She found him because she saw a Ride-a-Prisoner ad on TikTok. She went to the site. She found him. He was about the fourth person that she happened upon. Then she started visiting him in person, and they enjoyed themselves during the visit.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Katie doesn't know anyone has come to visit him in prison. As far as their rules are, everything's supposed to be online. He's telling Kaylee that he wants to marry her. She's in love with him and she cannot wait. He did propose. They are engaged, and he says he did so because she's financially stable and he's into her sexually. With Katie, he has to show good behavior for a year before he can propose to her, and the girl got his initials tattooed on her. Any thoughts before we go into the other part with them?
No, keep going.
Only thought I have is I have never seen a Ride-a-Prisoner ad on my TikTok feed, so I do not know what Kaylee be looking at.
I don't know either.
So moving on, Katie, Hunter, and Kaylee. So Kate is ready for him to cut communication with these Ride-a-Prisoner women if it's going to cause him to get in trouble and lengthen his stay.
Now, hold on. Hunter set himself up for these women, right?
She set him up.
She set him up, but she said it's time for him to cut it off.
Exactly.
Because, by the way, he said that she, singular, cannot support his lifestyle in prison.
Exactly.
I ain't know there was a lifestyle in prison. My fault.
So Hunter tells her it's going to be a little bit hard. He has some attached ones, and one girl has his initials tatted on his leg.
Wow.
We learned that Kaylee is a hairstylist. She's telling her friend / coworker that she is going to marry Hunter. At the same time, or so we see it, Hunter is telling Katie that she has his heart. She is getting pissed because they are delaying his release, and she tells Hunter that the women should. Hunter tells her that by next week the women will be gone. However, he tells us, the audience, that he's in love with 2 women, and he really doesn't know what his choice is going to be.
What is your thoughts on Katie, Hunter, and just all this mess?
Oh my gosh, it's such a mess, but it's such a good mess because I was not expecting for us to get another lady on the show to talk about her relationship with Hunter. So I'm just ready for all this to hit the fan because I want to see what Kate's reaction is going to be. I want to see what Kaylee's reaction is going to be because later on we find out that Kaylee kind of really don't play for real, but she is getting played. So I'm just kind of interested to see how all this falls apart, to be honest.
Here's the thing, Kate. You're a dummy, right? You think you had this man basically convince you, or it was your idea, whoever it was, to set him up on this little website to where he could get other women to support his lifestyle in prison. That way he only keep an online relationship, nobody come up and visit him. Meanwhile, you two have an emotional connection. That's how she described it. Yeah, you deserve everything that you is going to get out of this relationship, because this literally makes no sense, right? The fact that he did not fall in love or like with somebody else who supplies his lifestyle. So if he needs someone to support his lifestyle in prison and to supply his lifestyle in prison, and he's about to get out, what make you think he go dump that girl and not be with the girl that supported him in prison? It makes no sense. Let's keep going.
So now we're to Savannah and Bradley.
Okay.
He calls her. She is running late to an appointment with her mom in the car. We find out that she is going to this appointment to get a consult for a BBL.
Okay.
She has a list of surgeries that she wants to get done, and Bradley has offered to pay for this surgery.
Okay.
He tells her, just try to make sure the payments don't go above like $250 a month.
$250 a month.
Pretty
Okay.
much. He has a job lined up with a roofing company for when he gets out. So that's enough for her to feel like she can go ahead and move forward, sign the paper so he can pay for this. She meets with the surgeon to discuss the surgery and payment options. We learn a little bit more about her weight loss after her gastric bypass. She lost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And the doctor is recommending a posterior body lift instead of a BBL, just to kind of get things tightened, lifted, and it will give her the same results that she's looking for.
Okay.
The cost of surgery is $19,200 something and some change. That will be about $830 something a month.
Wow.
She says that if he's lying about paying, she's going to go to prison because she will hurt him.
You're not going to hurt nobody.
So Savannah gets on a video call with Bradley. She tells him the rough estimation is about $20K, and he says no.
Absolutely not.
He wishes that she would have went to the gym more because he is a booty guy. But realistically, he's not going to have the money to do this. And he doesn't understand why she can't just ask her family since she's had other surgeries that they pay for.
I'm trying to see who is the dumb one here. The one that's in prison or like the one that's over here asking the prisoner to pay for a $20,000 BBL?
I think we got to call them the same.
First of all, what BBL costs $20,000? Right. And I mean, maybe you need to get on a plane and go somewhere in Southern America so you can or South America, the continent, and get a cheap one, because $20,000. No. Right. Number two, Bradley, you said you're a butt guy. Right. He even said, I told you stay in the gym. Right. Do you like the girl or not?
Yeah.
One or two. It's really that simple. If you like her, then be with her. But listen, if she's the type of person that, quote unquote, this is not even her real body or anything like that she achieved through any hard work, like, it starts with one surgery, then it's going to be the next surgery, then it's going to be the next surgery. Then she going to find something else wrong with her, or you going to find something else wrong with her, and you go think, hey, you know what? You got that 100-pound surgery, and then you got a BBL or like whatever you got. How about that nose? You get what I'm saying? It's just a little too much for me. That's why I'm like, both of y'all just dumb. You get what I'm saying? And broke. What is your thoughts on them?
Yeah, my thoughts, part of me doesn't see why Savannah doesn't ask her family, but I think that Savannah's family is probably done footing the bill for her. I think that's why she works at the golf course and does what she can for tips and all that type of stuff, because even though she lives in this beautiful house that her grandmother passed down to her and her mom, I think that she's kind of on her own when it comes to her finances. And I think that it's a shame that she would put this expense on a man who's just getting out of prison, but she figured if he offers, she gonna take it. And I'm glad he told her no. I'm really glad he told her no, and we'll just kind of have to see where it goes from here. But Savannah, she just strikes me as somebody who is going to take as much as she can, and then if there's no more that she can take, then she's going to move on to the next. But at the same time, she's with somebody who's in prison, so I'm thinking that she's probably putting money on his big books as well. Then there's that whole thing about her, you know, being sober, which is a great thing. But she is getting with somebody who is also an addict and was her drug dealer. So it's just all very messy.
And then on top of that,
it's just all very messy.
If you're a sober person, why would you go to a surgery that's going to need some type of like painkillers and things like that? Like, you don't want to put yourself in those situations and things of that nature. That's why I'm like, I don't really see these two is a match made in hell, in my opinion.
So we are introduced to a new couple, Jakima and Donnie. She has twin boys. She has been in Ohio for about 2 weeks now. She moved there from Texas, so that way she could be closer to Donnie and actually see him more in person and build their like physical in-person connection. Yeah. She has been with Donnie for a year and a half. He was arrested for drugs, and he so far is going to be getting out in 2027. How she met him is that she, I think she said she saw a video of his online. She messaged him on JPay. She didn't see what he could do for her at the beginning, but he started sending her gifts, edible arrangements, and now she loves the man. Wow. She visited him in person one time, and then she decided to move there of course, to visit him more. She hasn't told her family and friends that he was in prison. Her dad made an assumption that he was in the military, so she ran with it.
Well, okay. We just gonna lie.
Then she told her sons that he worked on a boat, but they are going to be visiting him soon, so she has to come clean to them about where he really is. Mm-hmm. So she tells the kids that he's in prison. They're sad to hear it because he's in prison. And their whole thing is, why is he in there? What happened? What did he do? That would be my first question, too. And she says that she doesn't want to reveal that to them just yet. Mm-hmm. And she just wants to know if they're going to still love him. And they said, yes, we'll still love him.
Wow.
Her kid's dad went to prison when she was 3 months pregnant. Mm-hmm. He was using the money that she was sending for tattoos, and he also wasn't very responsive to her when he was in prison, so she broke off the relationship. He could have let her at least keep the money for the twins if he was just going to blow the money on tattoos. Donny paid for their move. Mm-hmm. He has a house that he rents out that he says that he gets the money from that to use to support Jakeema and the boys. Okay. She wants a family, a husband, vacation. She just wants the picture perfect family, American lifestyle, and this is the man she chose.
I'm about to say, what is picture perfect? What is picture perfect about this?
Right. Sorry. We've got a little bit more to go, but my first thoughts were, if you're going to tell the boys, tell them what happened. I think in an appropriate level for them being 7. Because, of course, they're going to have questions when you say that the man that you're dating is in prison. Mm-hmm. So I think that, especially for what he's in prison for, not to say that it's not a bad crime, because there are victims of people who sell drugs because it kills people and the community as well. But I think that since it's not necessarily a violent crime, you can give the boys a little bit of information on what it means to sell drugs and what that can do to you and put you in different positions in life. Of course, age appropriately, because they're just like, now they're thinking, they're worried, they don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And I felt like she threw the conversation on them and then just kind of backed away like, but you gonna love him, right? It's just like, well, what did he do? But the boys seem very, very sweet.
You see, to me, I disagree. Really? I disagree with that. Okay. Because number one, what is her name again? Jakeema, you are now on the list of worst mothers in America. You've been dating this guy and you have thrusted your kids in this relationship. That's not their daddy. That's not their father. So to even introduce the conversation of what he did to prison is an unnecessary conversation that you made necessary because you dated this man, right? So now you are entrusting that they hold this information, do what they want to do with this information, to where they wasn't even on this path. You was already blessed with a situation to be out of a situation with their real father who was a criminal, and now they don't even have to go through that whole prison pipeline thing that we speak of and things of that nature. But now you thrusted yourself into another situation with this America basically dream life to where you have to pick your fence into vacation. What do you mean vacation? Which prisoner comes straight out of prison and go on vacation without parole? Probation or something where they still have to ask permission. You get what I'm saying? So to even bring up the conversation is a conversation that didn't need to be had. Yeah. And you did that. This is not a conversation to where it's like, I gotta be honest because I want to be forthright. No, you're the cause and the effect that is negative on this whole scenario here. You get what I'm saying?
And the other thing that gets me is that she went on to the JPay. And then she started being like, I don't know what he can do for me. Why did you get on the JPay?
Come on.
Why are you looking for criminals? Yeah. If you feel like they can't do anything for you. Yeah. Like that was just the weirdest thing. Now he's in a position to prove himself from behind the bars. Sense. It's just like so upside down.
And you don't even know how he's making his money.
You really don't.
He says one thing, but he could be robbing Peter to pay Paul to pay Saul. Who knows, right? Who knows?
So Jakeema is looking forward to seeing Donnie. So she is looking for some wigs at the wig shop. She wants to open up a clothing boutique when he gets out and just go on a bunch of different business ventures with him. Donnie calls her. He got in trouble. He may be going to the hole. He doesn't know when he's going, if he's going, or why he's even going there. Jakeema doesn't believe that he does not know why he's going into the hole, but she won't be able to visit him while he's in the hole, which is, doesn't make any sense because she moved here for that sole reason. Now she feels like she moved there for no reason.
You're a dummy. There's not much to add to that. We gonna talk more about her next episode.
So we get into Tia and Rob. Tia is taking her daughter shopping. She has a 7-year-old daughter. Rob's living situation is not adding up.
Okay.
Tia is telling her sister that she didn't want to move in with him, or for him to move in with her and her child right away. There should be a period for them to kind of like get accustomed to each other, him to be around the daughter before she changes her daughter's living situation.
Why? No, the question is why? Because you already dating the man.
Yeah.
You already invested a life into the man. And now when he's out of prison, now all of a sudden you want to do things that make sense to you? That makes no sense to me. So you shouldn't be dating him.
So he is going to stay with his friend and his friend's girlfriend. Rob calls her and she hands the phone to her sister, basically saying, you explain to my sister what you got going on. So he explained that they are subleasing the place. So he's going to be staying there. No one else is going to be living there.
Yeah.
But the girlfriend of his friend does have access to the apartment in the other bedroom because that is her apartment. His sister was saying that the girl lived there, the boyfriend lived there, and now it just who is actually going to be living there.
Yeah.
He says that it's only going to be for a month. It's a very short-term type of situation.
Okay.
Now they're getting 2 different stories, one from Rob, one from Rob's sister, and that is upsetting Tia, and her sister is looking at her like her sister is crazy.
Yeah.
So the daughter is saying how much she loves Rob because he's nice to her. Tia wants to be married with kids. She wants Rob. She also wants this fantasy, American fantasy.
Oh my goodness.
She was with her daughter's father for 10 years, but it didn't work out. They don't have a good co-parenting relationship, so she hopes that Rob will be a good dad.
Of course.
So Rob ends up calling Tia. He couldn't talk to her that morning because they did a search in the prison and they were kind of on lockdown. He tells her now that he is going to be staying in that apartment in Brooklyn for 3 to 6 months. Well, she's pissed because before it was 1 month, now it's 3 to 6 months. So what is actually going on? Are you trying to play me or what? Tia thought that he would only be staying there until he could find time to find another place to live. And he was like, 3 to 6 months. That gives me enough time to look for somewhere that I want to live. Well, he's saying things change as they go along. He hasn't given her a reason not to trust him. He is in a committed relationship with her and he doesn't see why she's flipping out the way that she is.
Yeah.
So she starts threatening to leave him and he is telling her to watch her attitude. She does not care. If she finds out he's lying, she plans to beat him up and she will be done.
And then she threw her phone in the dirt.
Yes.
Which I don't understand.
Talk to the birds.
I felt like this scene was an overreaction on her part.
Okay.
Because I'm like, he's a prisoner. Right? If you want to know where he is, if you are that type of person that need to know where he is at all times and things of that nature, got to put a track on him, got to put a little Apple tag on him, then why don't you just move him in immediately?
Exactly. Parole him to your house.
Or
move him to your house.
Because my whole thing is you already want to have a prisoner already. Because, most of these people just want a prisoner or want to date a prisoner so they can control somebody because they got self-esteem and mental problems themselves. Yeah. So I'm like, why go through all these cartwheels and these flips where you can literally just have him in your, house? You get what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. But the whole relationship don't make no sense. This American dream, maybe I need to take a step back and look at America and be like, if this is am I not living a dream? Do I need a woman that been to prison who got a tattoo from her forehead down to her neck and things like that? Who's basically I have to support their life and basically sell me lies and sends me what is the thing?
Edible arrangements.
Sends me edible arrangements. I'm over here doing this review channel. I'm doing it 100% wrong. I need a convict. Okay, that's what I need. If you a convict, hit me up in the comments and say I'm a convict.
Don't hit up my man.
Okay. Anything else on this episode?
Only thing I have to say is that Tia likes to act like she has sense and not at the same time.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to why these people do what they do. I do think that the fantasy of having your core family and all that type of stuff, I think it's a beautiful goal and one to have. But the way that these people are going about it is just so wild to me. And I'll say this. I do think that people who have been incarcerated do deserve to have a chance to rebuild their lives and to be able to have a beautiful life. But I also think that people who are not incarcerated don't need to bog their life down to where they have to wait and basically imprison themselves and wait for their life to start for another person to be released.
Makes
I'm just
sense.
like, if somebody comes out, they've been to jail before, and you know that's part of their story, but they're in a much better place, then that's up to you if you want to decide to move forward with that person, depending on what limitations they may or may not have in the free world because of their decisions.
Yeah.
That just makes me think about Love after Lockup with the Key Rock and Brittany. And basically, like, Brittany couldn't move. And if you're somebody who would say get in a relationship with someone like Brittany, that's up to you if you want to be with somebody who can't freely move around. But when it comes to this situation, and they're in relationships with people who are in prison, and they want to talk about, well, where are you going to live, and you can't live there, and who's going to be staying where you're staying at. It's just like, like you said, if the man isn't going to be living with you, he's got to do what he has to do once he gets out, because he's working with limited resources already. So
Facts.
It is what it is. So moving on.
Let's go on to the next episode.
So we start with Tia and Rob for episode 53.
Okay.
Tia has Rob's sister and her wife over for drinks. She is trying to get down to the bottom of the living situation. So
I thought that was I don't think that was Tia's cousin.
No, it wasn't. It was Rob's sister and the sister's wife.
You sure?
Yeah, because Rob's sister is, when they were on the pier.
Oh, okay.
It was the light-skinned girl who was Rob's sister, and then the dark-skinned one who was reading the tarot. That's the sister's wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I'm still a little confused, but I'm gonna get it.
I can explain more.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna get it.
Okay, so she is trying to get down to the bottom of the living situation. At first, they're trying to ask her, like, can you tell us, like, why we're here? And she's like, I want to wait for Rob to get on the phone so, like, we can all have this conversation at the same time.
Okay.
She needs a solid number on how long he is going to live in this other apartment until he considers moving in. He says 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
She is writing down notes in case anything he says changes over the course of the time.
Okay.
Tia asks who is going to be at the apartment, and he says that he will be living there by himself. And Tisha, which is Rob's sister, says, well, she thought that Rel and his baby mom were going to be staying there. But she says, if that changed, then that's just news to me. Like, if something changed, then that's just news to me. So if Rob's saying that he's living there by himself, then that must be the update, pretty much. Rob feels like it might have been a miscommunication on his part, and Tia is asking who has access to the apartment. Rob explains that the woman is subleasing the apartment. She moved to Harlem while he is going to be staying in the apartment in Brooklyn. Tisha's opinion is that if Tia can't trust Rob, then there is no relationship. Tia asks if she is his priority, and he says that she is, and he's sorry for making her feel like she was not. She's been through cheating, DV in relationships, and she wishes she could trust him, but he's going to have to prove it.
Yeah, a prisoner.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this scene?
My thought about that scene, I did not like that Tia brought in his sister and his sister's wife. I see, because we saw in the first episode that they went to the pier and they've been hanging out and getting to know each other, which is cool. But I really think that if you have drama or a situation in your relationship, like, you should definitely try to work it out with your partner instead of dragging in their family and friends, because I think that starts to make them look at you like you're crazy.
No, she is crazy.
Because why can't you talk to your man? And I think that's pretty much what Tisha's point was. If she can't trust him and she don't believe what he's saying to her, then they really shouldn't be together, because she brought me over here to have wine and she over here drilling me.
It makes no sense.
Like, I know they didn't want to be there for that. So that's pretty much what I thought about it. I do not necessarily believe what Rob is saying 100%.
Okay.
Because
he's a prisoner?
Not because he's a prisoner, but because people can lie. Like, who knows who is living there until she actually sees it for herself, and then he might have somebody hiding in the closet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's up to her if she is going to trust him and move down this path. And if not, then like Tisha said, move on.
Yeah, my thing is, I don't think he's lying because people just lie. I think he may lie because his girl is too much of a hawk. Like she want to know too many exacts as if he is in control of his own life. So that can make him go, okay, for one is 1 month. Okay, 3 to 6 months. And then he saw how much just the time left. We didn't even get to who's going to be there. just the time of how long he's going to be there, she's crashing out, right? Which can make him be like, she crashed out over little stuff. I'm gonna keep omitting things to her because she's a crash out and things like that. She'll here threatening me as if like she could beat me up. So that's why I'm like, I think Rod would lie because his girl is crazy. You get what I'm saying? And she have low self-esteem and things of that nature. And plus, she put herself in position. If you care this much and want to take notes, have him move in with you. Is that plain and simple? Don't try to put boundaries now that the man is out. You wanted to be with this man, be with the man. You know?
So we move on to Kate, Hunter, and Kaylee.
Yeah.
It is 6 months until his release. Kate FaceTimes her mom and fills her in on the right of prisoner situation with the other women. There are 8 girls that he's been in communication with through this site.
Oh, boy.
Maybe he didn't have to sell the fantasy as deeply as he did. He told Kate that all the girls were breaking the rules, exposing themselves on video, and something about sex toys. Then we see Kaylee at the sex shop.
How you doing, Kaylee?
She wants to surprise him with a new toy that replicates him in some fashion. She tells her friend that she is shopping with that she is engaged. And her friend thinks that Kaylee's being stupid and she needs to be smarter.
Pretty much.
So Hunter calls her. She found something his size. He tells her that, hey, babe, the $200 you sent me, I use that for shoes and I need money for food. And she tells him, well, sounds like you made your choice.
Pretty
you
much.
got your shoes, and I guess you're going to be hungry. She also buys a $500 text package so that way they can stay in communication. So Ava's saying that he shouldn't take her contributions for granted. That's Kaylee's friend. And Kaylee says that made her feel like he crossed a boundary. He says that he's not using Kaylee for money, but he doesn't know still who he's going to choose, whether it's Kaylee or Kate.
Well, you are using her for money.
Yes.
Like, I think you're gonna try to squeeze as much money out of Kaylee. Truth be told, I think I don't think he go choose either of them. To be honest,
yeah.
I think number one, Kate, you have shown yourself, and he has even said it like, I gotta be a certain person with Kate, and I'm like, he already been in prison. He ain't trying to be in prison outside of prison. And with Kaylee, I just think like, hey, you supported me in prison. Now I'm not out of prison. I want to actually be free and be out in the streets. So I don't think he's really up for commitment. I think he's basically like, how long can I keep the charade up while I'm in here? I don't want to blow it too early, and then all of a sudden I got no money, I got no support at all in prison. So I think he's just trying to prolong it to see how long can I go, how much can I stack up when I tell the truth that now I have no lifeline to support my lifestyle in prison. You get what I'm saying?
Agreed. So Kate goes out for drinks with a couple of her friends. She wants to build a life with Hunter. She fills them in that he has a roster of women who are supporting him and that she set it up for him. And the women are now affecting his release date. Kaylee gets a call from Hunter. She's annoyed about the shoe situation. He does apologize. There are already concerns from her family and friends that he's using her, and he says that he loves her. When he comes out, he will handle all of the bills. He's made promises to get a job, to get money, and Kaylee thinks that he's a bit impulsive, but she knows when he comes out, he is going to give her back tenfold.
How you know? Tenfold?
Now, Kate's friends are saying that if he's not going to cut off the other women, then that shows you where his priorities lie. The friends think that he is using Kate. She also tempted him by setting up this website situation. Hunter calls Kate, and Kate says her friends are being a little bit skeptical. And he says that he knows that he said he would cut things off, but he doesn't want to continue to lie about it. And that's where we end with them.
Skeptical is not the word. They laughing at you. Like skeptical is put it in a nice way. They laughing at you. And truth be told, I wish I was one of those friends. To where it's like, 'cause my life is a little boring. There's not much drama in my life. So I need to depend on somebody else's drama to get some entertainment. And this, trust me, Kay is going to be the topic of conversation, not only amongst those two, but they go tell their friends, because how are you going to tell this man basically that you set up, that you basically want to call yourself the pimp, but then you go end up without the one that you pimping out?
Right.
That's basically what's going to end up, because I don't think he want to be with you. I think he going to give you honesty, because it's not like you supporting his lifestyle. So if you cut off, it's not like you gonna be giving him money. You ain't giving him money anyway.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? So I think with Kaylee, Kaylee is his number one priority when it comes to supporting his lifestyle in prison.
Absolutely. And if anything, I could possibly see him moving in with Kaylee once he gets out, because that's where the money resides.
Exactly.
So moving on to Krystal and Sam. So he bought some of her favorite food. She asked him to start preparing as though she's coming home because she has a parole hearing coming up this year, and she could possibly get parole, but if she does not, she will not be released until 2033. Woo. So he's over here buying Fruit Loops and Hot Pockets because those are her favorite snacks, even though she's not here to eat them.
Don't buy me prison snacks, okay? Don't buy me Hot Pockets and Fruit Loops, okay?
So
2033 is a long time from now.
It is a long time. So he is trying to get her to have phone sex, but she says absolutely not, and she asks him to respect her boundaries. She does, however, have some girlfriends in prison. She says that she's not a lesbian. She just, in Rome, you live as the Romans do.
Oh, well, guess what? These Fruit Loops going right back to the store. And Hot Pockets going right back to the store. I have nothing to add to them.
Yeah. Well, Sam's friend comes to visit him, Cam, from Washington State. He has been his childhood friend. He drives him around to show him the prison and just the town. He asks if Sam told Krystal about the wild times that they had, and Sam is not planning on telling her that. Look, the girl's already jealous. Okay?
I'm about to say.
He has been celibate for 4 years. Krystal is also not having phone sex with him. Krystal won't get it till another 7 years, or Sam and Krystal, if she gets released at that time.
Yeah.
So Krystal calls him while they're playing pool. Sam has been slacking a little bit, according to her, when it comes to the money. She's been having to remind him to send it instead of it being where it needs to be.
Wait a minute.
He tells her that, he likes to spend money on her. He likes to spoil her because he doesn't want his wife asking other women for money and things.
Why not? Listen here, let the prisoners basically do whatever prisoners got to do. Right.
And as far as she probably still asking people for stuff.
Please, no. I'd be like, please ask your prison girlfriend for some money and let me continue to keep my money out here just in case you get out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And Krystal wants to make sure he's wearing his ring, which he says he is.
Oh, he is simp.
He wants more from Krystal sexually. She says no. And if you feel like you need to have sex, then that's your decision to make. And she hangs up the phone. Cam asks if Sam ever feels like he's being used, and Sam says that it has crossed his mind. He spent well over $100,000 since being in a relationship with her, but he is all in, and that is his wife. He doesn't want his wife asking another woman for a pack of noodles.
Why? I don't understand. So Krystal's the one that's in jail, right?
Yes.
So let me get this straight. Krystal's the one that's in jail one more time, right?
Yes.
She hung up on you, who is in the free world.
A free man. Right?
When you're in prison, I don't know by experience, right? Hey, tell me what's going on out there. Like you want to know what's going on beyond the wall. Exactly. You know what I mean? But she, as a prisoner, rather cut her free time to talk to whoever she needs to talk to on the phone with you. You're being used, bruh. Because to her, she's like, man, I ain't got time to talk to you. You ain't respecting me. I'm going to go cross my boundaries with this girlfriend that I got over here inside the prison. You're being used. And even the fact that she's over here asking, you still wearing your ring and all these things, get the food that I like because I got a hearing coming up. But yet you get hung up on? I don't understand it. I don't understand why these free people are making themselves prisoners. I really don't. Exactly. I don't get it. It's like they never watched previous seasons of the show at all. I really don't understand.
Yeah. The thing is too about Sam is that I get that Krystal is his wife. And I respect the fact that you guys are married and your lives are joined. And so you're in this thing together because you made that lifelong commitment to her. Yeah. My whole thing is, why would you do that?
Yeah. Don't do that.
Let her be your girlfriend until you come out. There's a lot of people who wait for people to come out to propose, to get married, so that way they can really start their life together. Yeah. But it is crazy that you have binded your life in this way to somebody so limited in their movement. Yeah. So moving on, Jakeema and Donnie.
The worst mother in America.
She hasn't heard from Donnie since he said that he might be in the hole. Jakeema meets up with Donnie's sister. Apparently she has a child, so they get the kids together to play. Yeah. The sister thinks that the whole situation is crazy. Jakeema uprooted her whole life for Donnie. Jakeema is in contact with a girl whose man is also in the same prison as Donnie, and the girl confirmed that Donnie is indeed in the hole.
Oh, okay. A little support group.
She is worrying about how he makes his money, and the sister asks if she's willing to wait for him, especially the fact that you have children. And Jakeema says that she loves him, and he's trying to change. Him going to the hole doesn't make much sense. What if he's lying? What if he's playing her? The sister says that he could be playing the both of us for all we know. You only know what somebody tells you at the end of the day. And I like the sister. I felt like the sister was, of course, respecting and still loving her brother, but she was talking to Jakeema, I felt, as like a good, just like woman to woman type of friend type of conversation, as far as like, have you thought about what you're giving up being with him, even though he's my brother and I love him, but like, you see how you're kind of putting your life on hold, and it's up to Jakeema to see that, to change that or whatever. I mean, the lady already moved to Ohio. So.
I'm about to say, like, she already gave
I
up.
don't think she's doing nothing different at this point, but I feel like the sister really did try to talk sense into her respectfully.
At the end of the day, that's her brother.
Yeah.
And guess what? She's not on your side. Like the what she asked you was not something that is, she is not giving you secret information. That is like public knowledge. Like, hey, are you sure you want to invest in someone who's in prison? That is not her betraying her brother's trust, right? What now? If her brother is really doing something, do you believe the sister would tell Jakeema?
I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah. So like, that's why I'm like, Jakeema, you said it. She said it herself in this episode, or it was last episode, that she moved and there's no one else out there, right? She has no support group, so she's leaning on, I don't want to say the ops, but she's leaning on his sister as if she is going to betray her brother. Why would you put yourself in that position to where the only friend you have is the person that could be lying to you? Family. That makes no sense.
Same goes for Tia, relying
all the above.
relying on Rob's sister to tell her what's going on.
Exactly.
So Donny calls Jakeema.
Yeah.
He's in the hole, but he gets a video call once a week. He says that he doesn't know why he's in the hole. He still don't know why.
Okay.
She plans on finding out the truth some way. So she tells him that she told the twins that he's in prison. He didn't really want the kids to know, and he asked to talk to them. Okay. She says that the kids love him. He will always be their dad, and they will always be his sons. He asked the twins how they feel about him being in prison, and their first question is, why are you there?
Yeah.
Because our mama won't tell us. Why are you in prison? He says he was being bad. He was selling drugs, and he tells them that he'll be out by the time that they're 10. They tell him, we love you, Dad, and you don't deserve to be there. When the twins' dad went to jail, she didn't get much response from him, and that's how they broke up. But Donny really cares for her kids. He helps her take care of them, and it means a lot to her. She asked him how long is he going to be in the hole, and Donny says, I don't know. They might be moving me to a different prison.
So new information on new information, right?
Yes.
And I wonder if the sister knew. That's why I'm like, he's giving you information right when the lady on the phone says you have 1 minute left, and right when it gets to like 10 to 15 seconds, he said, you know what, they may be moving me to another prison. Then that's when the phone just cut off.
Exactly.
Right. First of all, he's on the phone, and I don't trust a man who I never met in the sense of, I don't trust him because he's like, oh, you call me dad, and he's making promises to these kids who he never met, right, outside of a screen in front of them, right, a phone call, and, oh yeah, I should be out before like your 10th birthday and things like that. You will always be my son, and I'll always be your dad. What am I watching here? This is disgusting, right? This is disgusting, Jakeema. The fact that you will put your sons in this situation and put yourself in this situation, knowing that you was freed from another situation. Yeah. It's like you wanted this dynamic when the one guy wasn't talking to you and things like that. The actual father, you're like, you know what? Let me go into what is it called? JPay, right? Find me a prisoner to invest in, and then he get to be my boyfriend. Oh yeah, I got 2 kids. Can't like you father my kids. Why? Yeah. Why would you even like create that stumbling block? That's why I have no problem saying like you on the list of like listen here, we've seen a lot of bad mothers on this series. One of my favorites, I don't know her, I forgot her name because it's so much, but she was twerking in her mama's bathroom.
Oh goodness, Ayana.
Miss Ayana, my favorite so far, where she would drop her kid off and things like that, and when her man called, she'd take it up in the bathroom and she was literally clapping her booty cheeks upstairs in the bathroom.
And I know they heard it downstairs. I know they did.
So you're now on that love during, love after, love before, all the love lockdowns as bad mothers. And it's a shame because you a sister from another mister. It's a shame. Let's keep going.
Yeah, my only thoughts about the scene is that this is not protecting your kids.
No.
Is all I'm saying. Like, the amount of emotional turmoil these boys are going to have if Donnie does not come through in the way that he says he's going to, which I kind of don't put it past.
He's moved to another prison.
He's moving to another. I mean, he could be going to a different state for all we know. How many places are you willing to uproot these kids' lives to chase Donnie around from prison to prison? Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. So moving on, Tia and Rob.
Yeah.
Tia visits with her grandmother. She wants to tell her grandmother about Rob.
Okay.
Her grandmother is her dad's mother, and she hasn't seen her dad since she was 9 years old. So he has not been in her life.
Daddy issues.
She tells her grandma that she's in a relationship with a man in prison, and grandma shakes her head no, but she asks why. And Tia says that he treats her well, and she's like, no, girl, why is he in prison?
Yeah. That why.
And it was for robbery 8 years ago. Grandma knows about Tia's past relationships, how she was mistreated, and she just wants her granddaughter to be careful. Now grandma done lost her appetite. She can't even enjoy her soup.
And she needs to eat.
Yes.
She old.
That's it.
What is your thoughts on with grandma? It just overall, just her as a person.
I guess for me, when it comes to Tia and just a lot of people on Love After Lockup, they don't consider how these choices affect their family members.
Not at all.
At all. Whether it's their children, their parents, their grandparents, like. And she's talking about wanting to introduce him to grandma and how he was in jail for robbery. So are you going to take him to your grandma's house so he can scope the place and take
rob
what he
grandma?
wants? To rob grandma? Not saying that Rob is going to do that, but I'm just saying, like, you're putting your family in possible predicaments, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I protect my family as much as I can. So.
I'm not even on the whole, like, forget Rob out of all of this, because Rob did not choose you. You get what I'm saying? Like, these people know that what they're doing is wrong.
Absolutely.
That's why Jakeema didn't tell her father, didn't tell her family. He work on the boat. He in the military. He's away. She's waiting to tell her grandma and things of that nature. Like, all these people know that there is something internal, external that is wrong about it, right? This is not a situation to where you invested years with someone who was outside of prison and then they end up going to prison.
Yeah, that's different.
That's very different. You sought out to not protect your kids, Jakeema. You sought out to not protect your family, as Blair was talking about Tia, right?
Yeah.
You sought out these things. So it's like, I can't blame the prisoner if he comes out and he goes back to prison. I can't blame the criminal who have more of a career of actually being a criminal than actually a resume or a work history that's going to come out and get money in the way that they know how.
Right.
Like, you get what I'm saying? You chose this life, not them. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I don't feel bad for them. They have not watched previous seasons of this series. Because I'm like, show me the success stories, right? That is so much that you're not being used, you're not being lied to, you're not being deceived, you're not being abused in some cases. That, hey, some of y'all end up going to prison and y'all wasn't even prisoners before y'all started dating the person. Because y'all doing crimes now. Now it's Bonnie and Clyde. You get what I'm saying? Look. It is what it is. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen, hopefully y'all enjoyed these 2 episodes. Hopefully y'all enjoyed 2024. We will be here still in 2025. Happy New Year to everybody who's watching. We see y'all.
Bye.